Okay, I've gone ahead here and made another Zentangle, but it's on the traditional 3x3 square paper. It's kind of like the one I did for the practice video, but I kind of made some changes, made it a little bit better, I think. I'm adding the ink now, which is the next step. I'm using a ballpoint pen or like a school pen, the kind of pen that I thought a lot of you might have laying around the house. It's not the most ideal thing to use, though. If you have an ultrafine Sharpie or a Sharpie pen at home, that's what you really want to use, much more precise. If you have just a normal Sharpie, don't use that. You can use it for some of the lines, just like a few of the lines. But if you did the whole thing in a big Sharpie, it's going to ruin your fine, detailed lines that you made with a pencil. As we move over to time lapse here, I'll try to point out the places where goofy things happen with the ballpoint pen and talk about what you can do about them. But you want to use the time of adding ink to clean up your Zentangle. So if you had some places where you weren't as deliberate as you should have been, where your shapes don't close all the way, or they have like these little tails on them because you looped them really fast, or if you have lines that overlap that you didn't mean to overlap, or lines that you were trying to make them touch another line, but it didn't quite touch, fix that. Notice those issues and use the ink to clean those up. Don't put in ink mistakes. Right there you saw on the border it got a little thick, and then this bar is another example. It gets pretty wonky. You'll see in the shading video at the start how I fixed that. I went in and thickened up a lot of lines. So I thickened up the border. I thickened up one line on some of those bars to kind of make them look different. When you're doing the ink, it's permanent. You can't erase it. So if you do something that you didn't intend to do, you might think, oh, I messed it up. Try to avoid that kind of thinking. You didn't mess it up. You just did something you didn't intend to do. And so you need to go back and change it, make some kind of adjustment to make it look like it was on purpose. Most of the time that involves thickening up a line to cover up something that happened. But as long as you go slow and are deliberate with this process as well, you still can't get it wrong. If you do something wonky, like I said, try to adapt to that, clean it up with a pen. But ultimately, the pen is what really kind of makes everything pop, brings everything out. It really adds a lot of contrast, really adds a lot of visual interest, and makes it go from just like kind of a little drawing to kind of a finished work. And then the shading that we're going to do in the next video really kind of caps that off. So hopefully you enjoy the process, make some cool art, and good luck, have fun, and see you in the next video.